Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We have a lot going on in multiple garages. Um, let's talk about what's going on today with the BlackBird. So let's take a look. Working on the brakes today. So take a look over here. And that rotor is pretty much shot, as you can see. And if I can show you, if you can see right inside there, there's a bolt inside there. Now why that's there, I have no clue, but it's going to make the rotor unbalanced, so rotors are getting replaced. So we've got a brand new rotor right there from General Motors. We'll take a walk around. As you can see, I bought a new power booster for the car. Not real happy with the quality of it. If you see when I kind of move the camera back and forth and up and down, it's kind of got a little bit of a rainbow to the plating. Concerned that that will rust down the road. I can get a higher grade one with cadmium plating, so I'm probably going to go that direction. We'll move over here. We see we got the brand new master cylinder with the bleeders. Really nice piece. Should look really well, you know, when it's assembled on that power booster or the new one. There's the old power booster. I'm not going to take a risk that that works because I'm not sure if it does. So while we're here and the dashboard's out, now's the time. So that's going to get removed. As you can see, all the brake lines are removed. Let's take a look over here. So this is the front brake lines to the front of the car. You know, they don't look too bad where they were up in the engine bay. This other line that goes along with the brake line is one of the emissions lines, which I'm going to keep on the car, which I didn't do on the Rusty Bird, but I'm going to keep it on this car in case maybe 25, 30 years down the road somebody wants to go back to a completely original, they can do that. Let's move along here. Hold on a second. Alright. So I believe that right here to be the original brake hose, which, you know, they do get soft, and you know, you could step on the brake and that can burst, and all of a sudden you have no brake. So let's move along the brake line here. Some undercoating on it, not a problem. You know, but when we, you know, move the corner, you know, so we got a little bit of rust there in the corner, but when we get here, we got a lot of corrosion. And I don't know how deep that goes, and as we move further up, there's even more corrosion. Most of that is undercoating. But as you can see, we move all the way to the back, and it's pretty rusted out. So this was definitely, that long line right there is the emissions line. That will be kept. And so basically, we'll take another walk around. You see all that shiny stuff on top of the car. And here we go. So everything up there is brand new brake lines going all the way across the car. So this is all the new stuff to go to the master cylinder, front lines, rear lines, every hard line to the car. I still have to order the flex line for the rear, but we're pretty close to that. That's about a $20 item. Not going to break the bank. Let's go over here and take a look at this one. So this right here, sorry for the shakiness and all that, but that right there is the front brake line. And if we take a look at it, you know, it's not too bad. Could I have run it? Maybe. But it was stripped on that end right there where it went in. Not that end, this end. It was stripped, as you can see. Alright, that's a better pick. And so that came off the car. There will be a brand new one that will go right across the frame right here, which will go into these brand new brake lines right here. Right here, this is all brand new. So everything will wrap up, and then eventually it will wrap up into the junction box, into the master cylinder, and I mean into the power, the master cylinder, then into the power booster. I had it right the first time. So that's what we got going on. We got a little bit more going on. So unfortunately, we have this to deal with. So those brand new brake lines run right underneath that. and I'm not going to put those new brake lines on there and then start doing body work and have my brand new brake lines and fiberglass and metal and all that. So we're going to hold off on putting in the brand new brake hard lines for now until this gets repaired. So you can see everything's still out of the car, waiting on the body guy, unfortunately. But he has not called me yet. So, like I said, I apologize for the jittery video if it's like that, but I'm trying to move around a little bit and show you guys what's going on. So let's talk about the back of the car here. The back of the car, as you can see, there are no rear brakes. And pretty much everything in there is, the springs are rusty, and there's a lot of rust in there, and who knows, that cylinder is probably leaking, my guess. So like I said, we got the rear end back together, and that's all the bearings are replaced, wheel bearings, axle bearings, all of it. We got our new stud over here, and this was the whole reason we had to pull the rear end apart in the first place. So I guess it was good that we had that broken stud, because there was a lot of sludge inside the rear end that needed to be cleaned out, and the rear end did need to be rebuilt. So that's where we're at there. If we move over here, we've got all kinds of colored springs and hardware over here, and we've got some brake pads, and we've got some brand new cylinders. As you can tell, again, GM, I try to keep it GM when I can. Sometimes it gets too expensive when we have to go aftermarket parts, but when I can keep it General Motors, that's what fits best. So that's what we do. And over here, this is the old brake drum. As you can see, it's pretty worn out, pretty rusty. This is the new brake drum. I'll do a little flip, and at the end of the day, that's what we will have. So that's what was on the car. You know, I could sand it down and make it look good, but the inside of it is all rusted, and the drum is not good itself. So that's a really nice coated replacement. Got these from Summit Racing. And like I said, Santa came early, dropped off all these parts for me, so it was really nice of him. And yeah, we're going to be moving pretty soon. Like I said, we're going to be tackling the rear brakes either tonight or tomorrow morning. And we've already got that driver's side done with the brand new everything over there. Like I said, this is going to get replaced next. Got to replace that rotor. And pretty happy with the progress so far. This all started this morning. The brake lines came off early this morning. You know, it was much easier to cut them in a few places because it would have taken me hours to try to remove these rusted, stripped threads. So at the end of the day, yes, everything under there is not restored, but everything mechanically there is brand new. The bearings, I had to buy new bearings. They were shot. So I repacked the bearings. It's got brand new pads, brand new caliper, and right up there, brand new brake lines. So when I step on that brake, we're going to stop. It's not going to be a problem. So, like I said, that's, to me, one of the most important parts of a restoration is starting with the brake system first. You know, why spend $25,000 on a car or more and not be able to stop? I see a lot of people do it out there in the industry, and it's just not the way I do it. I want to put my safety first, so we spend the money on the brakes. I'll give you a close estimate. It was close to $1,000. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't tallied it all up, but that replaces everything on the brake system. And at this point, another $20 for that soft line in the rear, and I have everything I need to make those brakes basically from where I step on the pedal all the way across. Brand new, everything brand new. As you can see, we already got the brand new line installed here. That's a brand new spanking line. It's awesome. And it'll be brand new all the way to here, which is the furthest away from that master cylinder. So all the hard brake lines coming across the rear axle. We'll take a peek in there. You can see there's no more brake lines going across the axle because they have been removed. So we're making some great progress. One more thing to show you. Here's probably the best part of it all. Alrighty then, so that is the rear end cover. And as you can see, Yeah, it's a little bit of eye candy and all that, but yeah, I run one of those on the Rusty Bird, and I will run one on this car. And if somebody wants to say it's not original, so be it. I don't care. It looks cool. So kind of that's where we're at. I wanted to update everybody to where we're at. Just transferred from nights to days, so that's been a little bit of an adjustment. Haven't really filmed recently, so we're really getting up to speed. Now in the other garage, when Santa came, he dropped off the... I had to buy a new... So I dropped off my heads. Let me roll back a little bit. I dropped off my cylinder heads at the machine shop. And the guy has them there now, and he's doing the 3-angle valve job to them, and he's checking them for cracks, and he's doing everything he needs to do to those heads to make me be able to run them on that Pontiac 455. So when I showed him the cam, he told me that the cam was starting to be wiped out, and I would be foolish to run that cam. So I did a little bit of research, and I could have kept it with a stock Pontiac cam, but I'm going with what they call the Summit 2802 cam, and for those of you Pontiac enthusiasts, you will know what that is. It's a cam that's very similar to the Ram Air 4 cam that came in the Ram Air 4 cars, and in a 455 with those particular 4X heads that I'm going to use, I should be somewhere close between 370 to 400 horsepower. So this car is going to have substantially a lot more horsepower than the Rusty Bird. We're hoping, down the drivetrain, we're going to put a beefed up transmission in it, and we're hoping we're not going to start twisting drive shafts because I have over 500 foot-pounds of torque. It is possible. It does happen with these cars. I'm not sure if I'm going to put a drive shaft loop in the car or not because of the fact that I like to keep the car very original, but for safety purposes, I actually might on this car. It's going to make a lot of power, and it's going to want to break loose quite a lot. So, the hardest thing on the drivetrain is when those tires are spinning and then they catch, puts a lot of shock on the drive shaft, puts a lot of shock on the rear end, and eventually, with that much torque, something has to go. So, and unfortunately for me, I got a heavy foot. So, yeah, we're going to drive it like it's meant to be driven. So, that's pretty much the update. Like I said, I've got the gasket kits, the whole complete engine gasket kit. I bought the Summit 2802 cam, and I had to buy some new matching valve springs to go with that cam because that is one thing that's been taught to me, that you have to go with matching parts. I could have risked not using the original parts. I mean, I could risk using the original springs that were on those heads, but they're not matched to that cam, and it's very possible that those springs are too tight or not tight enough, and the engine won't run right, or it'll completely wipe out the cam immediately. So a couple extra $100 that I had to spend that I didn't want to on that 455, but we're not doing a full-blown rebuild on that motor, but I got to at least give it a chance to make it right. So we spent the money. Probably the next update here will either be another one on the brakes, or we're going to take you into the other garage and show you what's going on with the motor and update you there. We got multiple projects going on at the same time, but it's just me here, so I got to split my time, and right now this is the weekend I'm trying to get all the brakes done. So I'm not sure if I'll get it done this weekend or not, but by the end of today I'm pretty sure I will have a full set of brand new front brakes with brand new packed bearings, and I will have no worries. Like I said, when I go to step on that brake pedal, this car is going to stop. So this is definitely worth the investment. Like I said, a lot of people won't spend this kind of money. I personally, I didn't want to spend it either, of course, but you kind of have to spend the money in the right places when you're restoring these cars, or it's going to come back to bite you. Now, I just saw a picture online on Facebook of a 1973 Pontiac Firebird Formula that was a gorgeous car that was stuffed into a guardrail, and the car was completely totaled. So we're not looking to have that happen to this car, and I'm not sure if that's because he couldn't drive, or maybe he didn't restore his brakes and he hit the brakes and he slammed into the guardrail. So anyway, that's where we're at. I want to keep the video somewhat short, a little bit longer than normal, but that's the update. And hope you guys have a great weekend. We're going to try to get some more videos out and more updates out to let you guys know what's going on. And just remember, Pontiac power forever. Peace.